Very good morning, everybody. 8:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Was it 29th of November? That's got to be about 30 degrees. Big morning here this morning, for me anyway. Another piece of the puzzle. Remember, I'm all about simple pleasures. Another big piece of the puzzle of putting things to bed and to rest where they need to be for the winter. I just completed setting out all the feed, stealing all the rings from the yard into the lot. This is where they will be residing for the rest of the winter until spring. Boy, I couldn't open up those gates fast enough either. Whew. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Did a few things in preparation yesterday. Set out some dry bales. I'll explain more about my feeding regiment this winter, or what I'm wanting to try anyway. This is a 4x6. That's all I have left. I screwed up on 4x5s this year. I should have made about 100 or better of those things. I screwed up. This is obviously a nice round bale of that pure alfalfa that I screwed up on, but not bad of a screw up when you can actually bale it up, round bale, and have it for feed for the cows. That needs to go with me. Okay, a couple little silly things I did yesterday in preparation for this morning. Not only set out a couple of bales, I ended up taking 2 bales of soybean straw. This area here, this is pretty nice here. It stays for the most part dry, of course, except for right here. This is going to be a bedding area, the best that I can make it anyway. And I started off with unrolling a couple round bales of this soybean straw. Some of it comes off thick. You can't control that. I can't anyway. But yeah, plenty of dry spaces here to lay down. A little bit of cow comfort. Yeah, it's amazing. I got 2 bales of peas and oats out there, fresh. And a lot of them come straight for this alfalfa. Eat up, girls. Get your breakfast now. Eat up. Go, Nelly. You're fine. Come on. We got a group staying back to some hay. I overfed last night and I knew it. There's some feed left over there, some real good dry hay. Some of the crew is sticking back. They'll make their way through. Yeah, I got 3 bales of dry hay out here, 2 bales of baleage, in particular peas and oats. Let's make a little room here, huh? Come on. Coming through. Coming through. Good stuff. You can see the peas. You can obviously see the oats as well. cows really enjoy it. Come on, let's go. So the goal here is I'm going to be trying something this year called winter yard grazing. It's very simple, folks. This is not a mad science. I'm going to tell you one more time, I'm not a teacher. Don't follow my lead. Half the time you'll end up costing yourself a bunch of money. Basically, for the amount of cattle that's here, everything that I read and researched merits 6 rings. 4 of the rings will always be full of dry hay, and 2 of the rings will always be reserved daily. So I will be feeding daily. 2 of the rings will always be reserved every morning for baleage. We're going to see how it goes. You know, it's not a guarantee of 2 baleage every morning. We're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna kind of play this by ear here. But anyway, the goal was 6 rings. I only got 5 out here. I had to steal one. Of course, I got another one in the bull yard, and I had to steal one for the heifer lot for their dry hay needs for this winter because I failed on the amount of 4x5s that I needed. I got pretty greedy with the 4/6s. But no harm, no foul. We're going to see how they do on 5 rings. If I feel the need, I will go pick up another ring, which I kind of hate to be doing, but whatever. We'll see what happens. They missed their rubbing posts too. We getting enough to eat in here now? Is anybody even paying me attention? Probably not. You got what you needed. So the last thing I am is an I told you so guy. That's for people with a complex. But for those of you that gave me some shoddy comments and didn't believe in these rubbing posts that I invented and built, the cattle love them. They love them. It's very quite simply, I need to build 2 more for the other side too, for the yard side. You're fine. You're okay. Mind your business. Just quite simply a 6x6. I did not drink my V8 the morning that I put this in. Understand I put it in with that pounder, that hydraulic pounder. You hit 1 stone down there, it's going to go cattywampus on you. But quite simply, I just purchased a few boxes of these, the broom brushes. Yeah. They say not to get plastic. They say to, and obviously those are the plastic ones. They say to get those natural whatever, this, that, the other things, for the fear of them eating or digesting some of that. I'm not too scared about that. We'll see what happens. Not to mention what I'm going to call the natural ones. Those aren't going to last. I mean, just look how they're pretty nice and beat up. But yeah, I set 2 of these out real late. I think early this fall. There's obviously another one right there. And I do have in mind to putting 2 more in. Hell, even if we get some nice weather. But especially come springtime, I'll be putting those in the cow yard. And if I feel crafty and fancy, I might even put 1 or 2 in what I think we're going to start calling the calving yard. Now the calving yard is what I've been calling behind the barn, little section, for quite some time. Well, this past spring was god-awful nasty. And I had no choice but to open up behind the barn, which of course is separated by this fence line. And you want to talk about a godsend. It always stays dry here. Obviously you see the knoll. And basically what I did is I took probably a good 30% of this behind the barn and destroyed it as far as grazing, because that was all grazing. The rest of it is. I think that's a good small price to pay for dry calves. It worked out real good. I have full intentions of doing the same here this spring, and kind of happy with the way that worked out. Yeah, and then you know, the other, I'm going to call the other 65-70% of this field of behind the barn is good grass grazing. So we'll see how it works out. But yeah, just another step. I look real forward to closing all the gates and a fence up by the tractor, and they will not be seeing that cow yard area again until they go through it to go to the grazing paddock system this next late spring, early summer. I'm going to do what I can to spread the wealth of feeding area here within the lot this winter, just to keep an acceptable area for them. But you know, what you've been seeing here this morning is probably going to become the predominant area to feed for the bale rings, everything else, and of course the bedding, and then of course what comes with that is just tons and tons of manure for a little bit easier of a cleaning in the spring. I can promise you right now there's going to be a bar minimum of 60, maybe 70 loads, manure spreader loads of manure hauled out of here. But as much work is behind that and everything else, that's a good thing. It's called fertilizer. Pretty happy with the condition of this lot here, back here anyway. I dragged this some time ago. It doesn't take a very keen eye to see that. Now, we did get an extreme amount of moisture in this late fall, but it dried out for the most part. Now it's kind of crispy, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Hey, there's 1021. She's doing real good. She's doing real good. And I can tell you there's without a doubt, she is pregnant. Doesn't take a good cattleman, which I'm not. Doesn't take a good cattleman to see she is pregnant. In fact, she was one of the first AI bred head of cattle this summer. She was AI bred once again to a Gen X sire by the name of Prime Cut. Right, girl? We doing okay? Go on and get you some breakfast. That coughing needs to stop right now. No more of that. His fingers are getting cold, folks. This video is going to run short here. Okay, let's talk about water source. They have an automatic water, a non-freezable automatic water in the in that shelter right there that you see. That's kind of confined by those soybean straw bales for windbreak, snow break. And I'm gonna do my damnedest. I have a water stock tank, one of those larger ones, a 6-foot diameter, that I purchased here this past spring. I'm going to do my damnedest to keeping that filled with loose drinkable water. I say that because ice here this winter. We'll see what happens. I got a little crafty. I got a small little invention that I came up with that I'll show you on a different video to keep the lines appropriated, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna let everybody settle down. I'm gonna give them about another good hour and a half, some that left behind. I'm gonna go get my bacon, eggs, and old-fashioned potato bread breakfast. I'm gonna kick everything in here, close up the gates, and now I have a job to do, and that is to line this west line here with soybean bales for a continued weather wind break. As of tomorrow, we're going to be able to grab the corn silage elevator, get that all set up so it can sit there through the winter and it's ready for the spring. And this scenario here is taken care of. So yeah, this is a good big morning here. This is very good. Well ahead of schedule. Understand, I marked on the calendar for this year what happened last year, and I marked it down last year. I got in a real tizzy. It was my own damn doings, procrastination. Then old Mother Nature hit us with a storm that wasn't fit for the devil, a storm that stayed all year. It was almost 3 feet. This time last year, I did not have this done yet. This time last year, I didn't even have my calves weaned off yet. Which is kind of something to say about that as far as staying on mom and getting that milk and those nutrients, but there's just some things that aren't going to happen here anymore. Last year was almost cryable, but we're going to be okay. Lessons learned. Chalk it up in the books, don't forget it. The only real fear I had last night with what I was going to do this morning was the calves. I don't know if you can see them. That's the heifer lot right there, separated by only a 5-strand fence, electric fence. Their weaning and balling process is over. What was scaring me is they did not find their water as of last night. I seen that they found it this morning though, and we'll see what happened. The cows are definitely going to conjugate over there by the fence line. Let's just hope there's no shenanigans, and kind of hope for the best. They've been separated for some time now, and all the mooing and crying's over. So we'll see. We'll see. Come on, girl. Come on, join the party. Yeah, you lost your tags. Yeah, you're red. It won't be hard to figure you out. Yeah, this makeshift area right here, this will get all closed up. The back gate will get closed, and this will get lined here with 4x6 bales of soybean straw, all the way down to where I run out, with some 4x5s as a second tier. But yeah, I screwed up. I fed just a little bit last night, too much. But it also stopped from there being mayhem this morning, so it's kind of a good thing. The only other thing I have to do is move that mineral tub over to the lot here, and we're set. All right, if anybody's still watching, I doubt it. This is going on 20 minutes. A couple videos ago, I labeled it "You Name Her," that little heifer calf that we had to hutch. Anyway, we're getting down to the wire here with names. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make this silly and fun and a little childish, which is right up my alley. and we're gonna pick the top 3, and we're gonna continue on this process. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and we'll kind of go from there. Right, girl? Right? Yeah, I know. If I could lay carpet out for you, I would, but it's not possible. Anyway, I got a lot to do here today. If we can help it, we're going to make a video a little bit later on, and we'll probably do some talking about that little heifer calf and anything else we can come up with. Hands are froze. It's time for breakfast. We're going to talk to you sooner than later.